Hey guys, Andrew with iQSports. In today's video, I wanted to touch on a little bit more of my offensive philosophy as it pertains to calling plays and how our offense operates. In the last video, we spoke about the reason that I limit my formations to just a handful of calls and why we do the things that we do with movement, motions, and shifts. But today, I wanted to shed some light on how that translates to calling plays, because you may be sitting there wondering, well, if your players are never set, how do you call plays effectively? That's a great question. First, what we do is we split the field down the middle and we call a strong side and a weak side call. Some people call it a field and a boundary call. Some people call it left and right. It's really kind of a pick your poison kind of deal. But what this allows us to do, though, is to create a lot of unique looks almost at will. All right. Let me show you what I mean. So if we hop over here to the whiteboard, say for instance, we line up in duo left. That's a 2x2 formation with the running back on the left side of the quarterback in an offset position. All right. If we consider what I just was alluding to, and we draw a line down the middle of the field, all right, that allows us to not only have, one concept, but also two concepts. Typically speaking, the receiver concepts are often two-man concepts with, a running back thrown in there somewhere, all right? With that being said, the concepts are also very complementary. So think flood, smash, dragging, double slants, things of that nature. All right. So say for instance we line up and we are in duo left smash Suzuki, which is our double slant call. Let's go blue for our routes. So smash is going to be boom, that's not great. Boom, boom, all right. And then a about 12-yard corner route. And then the Suzuki would be slant and then slant. All right. So with our running back, he can either go up here and have a choice, or if you wanted to create kind of a levels concept, let me actually put him on a swing. You can do that as well. It's really kind of up to your offense. You could also tag the running back with something if you kind of like various matchups. But in this situation, you're kind of getting that levels concept, right? So if this corner is playing kind of a man-to-man look, right? You might not have the comeback, but you might have the corner, depending on the leverage of the safety and how fast he is getting over the top. Or if this safety is kind of cheating over a little bit, kind of playing more head up with the H, that might be dead. A good ball beats all coverages, as all quarterback coaches know. A well-placed ball beats all coverages. But if he's playing kind of, closer to the formation, you might be able to get that right there. And then same thing with the swing, right? If there's a lot of pressure in your face, you can always rely on the running back to be there for that relief. That pressure valve is what I'm trying to say. But this is our concept. All right. So we're in dual left smash Suzuki. Okay. Now, say for instance, we come out, we line up, we call this play, and the way we teach our quarterbacks is to take your time. I'm definitely not a Chip Kelly go 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 fast as you possibly can offense. I like to see the field, see their movement, and maybe even make them move. As I alluded to last video, we like to make the defense show their hand more than we showed our hand. That's why we move around so much and kind of try and get them off kilter. But we're sitting there, we're ready to snap the ball, and for whatever reason, we don't like this call. Say, for instance, we want to kill this and go with a different two-man concept, maybe on the backside. So hey, kill Suzuki, kill Suzuki. So we're gonna go delete this, and we are going to go. Hey, we're gonna go smash dragon, smash dragon. So we're gonna go flat route right here, and then inside or outside slant right there. What that's going to be able to do, considering this Sam is so tucked into this formation, we should not only, have a quick throw out to the Y with a little bit of room to run. So if this is a short yardage situation, based on this alignment, that would be a really advantageous call for us to make right there. Or, if this Sam is kind of like apexing a little bit, we might be able to put one right behind his ear into this window right here. But that's what the offense is predicated upon. As I said in the last video, formations do not score touchdowns. I will say that again, and I will say that forever. Formations do not score touchdowns. Players score touchdowns. And to get a player to score a touchdown, you must put them in a position, the most advantageous position you can put them in order to get the ball, get upfield, get some yards, and get into the end zone. That's what this offense is predicated upon. Another thing that I spoke about in the last video is, keeping it simple, but also not really simple from a learning perspective. We're not out here teaching 1,000 plays. I just showed you 2 plays, and we only changed one thing. We only changed what the Y was doing. As in essence, we only changed what the Y was doing, and now we have a completely different play, right? All we're doing is we're teaching our kids very small, very bite-sized concepts so that it's not overwhelming, either during the week, during the install, or on Friday night when we're killing the play, changing concepts. Any player, from when you're a middle schooler to when you're a senior in high school, any player can remember a two-man concept. So if you can quickly think like, oh, hey, this dragging is a flat route and then a slant by the number 1, I can do that. You know how to run it. You know how to line up. I mean, you're already lined up, right? You're already lined up. All you're doing is just changing the leverage, the angle at which you're running it, and kind of your landing spot, or your landmark, I should say. That has helped me immensely in my coaching career. Just kind of dumbing it down and being more adaptable to stuff like this. And what we're creating is, the older generation will know what I'm talking about, but Tinker Toys. You have all these different parts, and what you do with these parts is you just put them together and you make a toy, right? The parts are interchangeable, and you can kind of create, what looks to be like Frankenstein if you wanted to, just from small, tiny little parts, right? And that's all we're trying to do. The newer generation might equate this to Legos, right? You can create a really cool work of art with Legos, and none of the parts are all that big. They're just tiny little bricks. But you stack enough of those together, and you got yourself a pretty cool looking thing. And that's what this offense is. Sometimes I call it my Tinker Toy offense, just because we're able to do that. All right. Now, the next thing, let me go ahead and clear all these and then redraw my line here. Now you might be sitting there thinking, well, Andrew, how do you get to different three receiver looks? That's a great question. Let me show you how that's done. All right, so say for instance, middle of the third quarter, whatever, we come out, we line up, hey, do a left, do a left. We come out, we look like this. Quarterback and all the skill positions look at me for the play, and we'll go, let's see, we'll go Suzuki, we'll make it simple. Suzuki Dragon. All right. So, we'll go red this time. We'll go Suzuki. Okay. Double slants. Okay. And then with just a flat route against the grain flat route, and then Dragon again. So boom, and then a slant across the middle going that way. All right. So this is dual left Suzuki Dragon. Okay. Very simple, very quick game, very quick gameplay. It's a rocker step for the quarterback, grip, rip. All right. A lot of this is based on a pre-snap look. You probably have a pretty good idea where you want to go with the ball based on your pre-snap look. I would say based on this alignment, play side is dead unless you want to go to the running back. Probably want to go right back to our tight end over here in the slot, or our Y in the slot. But that's not the point. So imagine we come out in this quarterback, sees movement, sees a matchup that he doesn't like, looks to me, and I go, hey, kill, 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 kill. We're gonna go instead. We're gonna go duo left hack, which is a motion. It's H across. Duo left hack. We'll go dig chase. All right, so we're gonna go dual left hack. Let me go. We'll go purple for the motion this time. So dual left hack, dig chase. All right, blue for the routes. All right, so oopsie daisies. Hold on. So we're gonna go dual left hack, dig chase. Okay, dual left hack, dig right here. Okay, that's the dig concept that I run, and then chase would be an angle route by number 3, boom, boom, coming back inside, and then a deep dig by the now number 2, boom, and then a drive route by the number 1. All right. So what we just did is out of one formation, I just showed you 3 plays and 4 different concepts. I showed you Dragon, I showed you Suzuki, I showed you Smash, and I showed you Chase. Oh no, I showed you Dig too. So I showed you 5 concepts on 3 different plays, 4 different plays, whatever it was, all while running one formation. That's the basis of our offense. We keep it simple on the formation side, and we're able to create all this chaos and all this movement with just one motion. One motion created all of this, right? And what that allows us to do is not only put our best players in the positions to go score touchdowns and go contribute to our wins on Friday night, but it also allows us to really get a good feel for what the defense is trying to do to us, just by simply moving our dudes around. All right. Now, if conversely, let me go back. All right. So, got to draw my line again. Sorry. Now, that's terrible. I'm terrible at drawing straight lines. Sorry, guys. All right. Drew our line. Now, if we want to go, got to have him right there. Got to have him. and then we'll go right here. All right, so now we're in a trio or a trips look. We're going to go trips right or trio right or however you want to call this. If we want to get to a more, we could do a lot of things from this. All right, we could go from trio to a 2-back set. We could go trio to quads. We could go trio to 2x2. We can do a lot of different things from this look right here just by moving one dude. And what that allows us to do is it allows us to see what the defense is doing, and it allows us to put ourselves in a better position. All right, let me show you what I mean. So in this situation, we're gonna go. Let's go trio right. We'll go swamp skinny. All right, so trio right, swamp skinny. So swamp is a 3-person concept that sends the tight end on a corner route. It sends the number 2 on a pivot return, and it sends the Z or the number 1 on a mandatory outside release. All right. And what this does is it creates that levels concept that I was alluding to earlier. I love levels, I love pivot returns, and I love one-on-one matchups. All right. What this does is it creates that natural levels concept without moving anybody, moving anybody or whatever. And then on the back side, you have a skinny, boom. It's terrible. We'll just do that. And then we can fire the running back out the opposite side to get that cross formation action going. Now, he'll probably be picked up by the will. That is fine. This play is not meant to go to the running back. He's just there for insurance. But say, for instance, we come out lined up in this for whatever reason, coach, me, I don't like it. I go, hey, kill swamp, and then we come back here, and I go, we'll go Z jet, or actually, we'll go H orbit. Okay, and then we'll go speed option. So what we're doing now is we are going from a very pass heavy formation to a very run heavy formation. Now, I don't know if I would ever do this. If I ever wanted to do a going from a pass formation to a run formation, I would probably want to run to the side with more blockers on it. But, for this example, I'm just showing you what we can do if we want. All right. So, on this, it would be, let's go block. Running back would go for most dangerous. Quarterback would probably key on either the defense or probably the will, honestly. Left tackle would scoop the defensive end, and then the backside number 1 would go block most dangerous, which would be him, and then the quarterback would key the will for the pitch key. We just changed the entire dynamic of that formation just by sending one person in motion. All right. And that's kind of the point of this video, is to show the versatility of, kind of teaching smaller bite-sized combinations of, or smaller bite-sized concepts rather than full, 3, 4, 5 wide receiver plays that have no variation or no room for adjustment, no room for anything inside of them. You're now creating very, very manageable, very versatile pass plays. Excuse me. In the last video, we broke down the math. It was, if I remember correctly, it was like if we have five formations, five motions, and 15, concepts. That's what I was talking about. 15 two-people concepts. I think we have some odd 5,300 plays. You're never going to use that many plays, in 10 years. You're never going to touch 5,300 unique play combinations in your tenure or in your tenure of coaching, honestly. Um, so but they're there for you if you need them. And that's kind of what I like about this approach. Again, I'm never going to say anybody else is doing it wrong. This is just what I've used in my coaching career to help me become a better football coach, a better game planner, a better play caller, and a better talent evaluator. Being able to see um, how being able to see how people move around and how they adapt under sudden change, going from an X to a Y, for instance. How do they do with that level of change? I'm not asking a whole lot of them, granted, but it is different leverage. It is a different spot on the field, and if they're able to kind of take take that and run with it. I know that I have a very reliable player that can handle a bigger workload than maybe what I'm giving him or something like that. So, again, not saying anybody is wrong. This is just what I like. It adds a lot of variety. There's never there's never one way to do it. There's multiple ways to run a program, run an offense, and this is just the way that I like. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, or reach out or get in touch with me. I would love to hear how you run your program. If you kind of agree with my style, if you disagree, whatever the case is, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.